Hey guys, what's going on? Jenko Sports here, bringing you the second episode in our Addicted to Addicks Football Manager 2015 career mode. First of all, just want to say a massive thank you. I mean, I was on 92 subscribers last night and wake up to be on 102, which is absolutely surreal. I never thought I'd even get to like 50 subscribers, let alone 100. So thank you so much, and to everyone that's checked this out. I mean, it wasn't exactly the best video, I know. It's just a bunch of screenshots from Football Manager without the match engine. But it means a lot. I mean, hopefully this series is going to be a fun one, or at least entertaining at least, and probably heartbreaking as well. So we'll see how we go, but right now we're still searching for a couple of players. We're looking at this striker at the moment. He's only 16, some great stats as well. And look at that, he's worth between 500k and 1.4 mil, but could be on £300 a week. Now, that's the sort of thing you like, because while you're spending out the big cash, to only be on £300 a week, he's not going to eat your wage budget like a more experienced player who's going for the same sort of price. But we need to focus on our left back. We take a look at Sheffield Wednesday's Joe Mattock at the moment, who could be a good signing. Again, available between 170 and 425k, but look at the wage difference. Could want up to 9 grand a week, and that's something we simply couldn't afford. But I think instead of searching for players, we've got to focus on the task in hand. Our first match of the season against Brentford, where not only have we been tipped for relegation, but somehow in this matchup recently promoted Brentford are favourites, which I don't see how. I'd probably put it down as a draw, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. So in terms of selecting our captain for the season, there was only ever really going to be one choice, and what makes Jackson so special is just the connection he has with the fans as well. Like every home game, if the team perform well and when he does the tunnel jump at the end, and that was a tradition brought in by Chris Powell during his reign at the club, but to see that continued by the captain and to have that sort of connection with the fans is something that a lot of teams lack, I think, especially in terms of the Premier League. So to have that sort of relationship and to build that morale, that confidence, that excitement about the club is something truly spectacular. So Jackson will be our commander-in-chief for the oncoming season. Now we see Victor Alvarez here from Espanyol, but he's available for a lot more than I first thought. So I do put an original transfer bid in, thinking his wages aren't too bad. He's 21, he's got plenty of room to grow, and there are a couple of players that could tutor him, and the bid gets rejected, and they want more money than I could possibly imagine. So plus as well, he wants 6k a week. He's not really affordable, so I thought the best thing to do would be to go for a more experienced free transfer left back. Now I'll start between Paredes or Nacho, and I've eventually decided on Nacho. Yeah, he's 2 years older, got a bit more experience, and arguably the main reason I chose him was just so I can make puns saying nacho cheese or nacho goal. And now you're going to click away from the video because of terrible puns. Anyway, he's not a bad player, and bearing in mind, if we're going to be starting Joe Gomez quite regularly, and a few of the youngsters as well, like Jordan Cousins or Callum Harriott, we need a little bit of experience just to try and keep everyone together and stop it from being just a wonder kid team or a team for the 19-year-olds. But first game of the season complete for Blackburn and Cardiff. Jordan Rhodes getting 2 goals, so whatever Football Manager this man appears on, he just seems to be an absolute demon. Same with Troy Deeney as well. We'll see if that trend continues as we play our first game and see if he can get a couple of goals for Watford. But we've got to focus now. Proshvit's up front there for Brentford, and we've got to select our team very much so based on how we're going to attack this. So Roman will get his first start for the club, obviously bringing him in from the Barcelona B team. We've got Andre Bikey on the bench, so the back four consisting of Royce Wiggins, Joe Gomez, Tal Benaim and Chris Solly. So Tal Benaim and Joe Gomez both getting their first Charlton appearances here today. Yoni Bynes as well, Roman, Johan Berg Goodmanson, George Tukadeyan, all picking up their first Charlton snapbacks, so to speak, because we can't afford caps. We're not a rich club, so we'll just bring out some new era snapbacks with the Charlton badge on the front. Now, the one big disadvantage we've got going into this is there is no Igor Vetakele. He's an absolute rocket of a striker. He's been good in the past. He's been good in real life. In fact, he got Player of the Month in September, I think. Very, very good striker indeed. So to be without him for the first game, when you want to get your team off to a good start, is a bit of a disadvantage, but we do have Simon Church, so I said last episode he can be a little bit inconsistent. We'll see if he can prove me wrong and fight for his spot in the starting 11, and also we'll see if George Tukadeyan can maybe get his first goal for the club as well. But one man to watch has got to be Nick Proshvitz at the front of the helm there for Brentford. We give our team talks, get all the players fired up. Johnny Jackson starts spin kicking the walls and throwing elbows like he's in a mosh pit to make sure we're in the right mindset before going into this away fixture. First game of the season against Brentford. Let's see how we do. The game started pretty well. Nice through ball there to Simon Church. who drills one over the bar into the empty stands at Brentford. So the fans really excited about the prospect of this season, it seems. Another little cross there that Button can deal with. There's no way that Church is going to get to that. He's only a midget, bless him. Joe Gomez loses the ball in a dangerous position and they fail horrifically with the shot. So something's never changed in Football Manager, and drastic errors will be one, but get the music out! Roman scores on his debut, get the goal theme! A dream debut for Roman, scoring on his first appearance for the club, which is something most players dream of, and his return to English football gone very well. We'll see if he can continue that and be a real threat on the left wing, and if he can maybe challenge Callum Harriott to overall the starting position at the club. But right now, Brentford trying to come back at us. Nice through ball down, and the shot goes on target, and Nick Pope beaten to the mark. So Stephen Henderson not starting. Nick Pope, the man in goal, and unfortunately lets in a shot. So 1-1 at half time. We do a couple of tactic changes there, go a bit higher tempo, a bit more expressive, just to get players to run around and start doing a bit of Swan Lake, as we go for the expression now. To run at the defence as well, they have a free kick on the 58th minute, which Nick Pope tips over the bar with a fingertip. And I tell you what, the saves look absolutely insane this season. Every save is so dramatic. Nick Pope often looks like Manuel Neuer half the time, and you'll see that again there. And he gets deflected, he gets a hand to it, and the ball comes back in, and he saves the first shot. There's no way he's getting to Jota's rebound goal. So 2-1 to Brentford. Jota with his first goal of the season, and we decide to make a sneaky substitution. So it's just an unfortunate, it's one of those things. He's done well to get to the first shot, but there was no way he was going to stop the second. But look at Joe Gomez's rating, 6.9. The kid's only 17, and he's performing like an absolute monster at the back. So poor Andre Bikey may well have his work cut out for him. And there is just a little more clip here of McCormack, who's almost going to tackle by his own player. Great challenge, and the ball down to Johan Berg Goodmanson. He's only got one man to beat now. Gets past two of them, cuts inside for the shot. The ball goes into the other empty stand, which is exactly what we like to see at Brentford.
You've got no friends!
And we might not have a defence after this. A header goes in the 86th minute, 3-1 to Brentford. I think we just went a bit too attacking in the latter stages of the game. We allowed ourselves to be too open at the back, and unfortunately it's given Brentford a 3-1 lead. Roman trying to salvage something though, brings the ball into Joe Pickett, who gets subbed on. Is that a penalty decision? The referee says no. I'm vowing otherwise. I'm pretty sure that was a clear penalty. Wouldn't have made much of a difference anyway. We lose the game 3-1. It's a bit disappointing. Not too happy. We should have performed better. But there are positives to be taken. We weren't completely desolated. And, you know, there's a lot of room for improvement. Obviously, without Vetakele, it was a very varied squad. We could have had some more experienced players there. But we'll see how we go. I mean, it could be worse. We could have been Watford, who were, well, Bolton, who lost to Watford 5-3. I said Troy Deeney would score. Reading lost 5-1 to Wigan, so not a good start for them. Derby held to a draw with Rotherham, and bearing in mind Derby almost promoted last season, only missed out narrowly after what was a very, very consistent season for them in the latter stages, but they just couldn't quite make it through the playoffs. So Osasuna make a Nacho bid, although it's Nacho player because he's coming to Charlton, hopefully. But finally, a bit of a relief there, as you saw. Vetakele resumes full training. The relief not being that we are warned by the FA, because that always seems to happen whenever you question a penalty, because the referees are right about absolutely everything. Said no one ever. But anyway, we go into the Capital One Cup then against Crawley. It should be an easy win. It's a good chance to rest some players, and with Vetakele still not 100% match fit, it means that he's just got one more chance before making his debut into the Championship. I mean, I'd much rather see him at 100% against the Championship team than about 60 or 70 against Crawley and then get re-injured or fail dramatically. It's just common sense, really. You want your big players to start. We make a different formation change as well, as you can see. Instead of our traditional suicide formation, we've gone for a 4-2-3-1 with Julien Dessart making his debut as our centre attacking mid, just because we don't really have two strikers at the moment. I want to rest Tucker Dian. Obviously, we've still got no Vetakele. Simon Church is only on 94%, so I want to keep him nice and fresh, which means we're going to start Show Silva. We give Andre Bikey a bit of match fitness as well. Michael Morrison makes his first Charlton appearance this season after it was Tal Ben-Aim and Joe Gomez in the first game. Jordan Cousins lines up centre midfield alongside our captain Johnny Jackson. Callum Harriott gets his first start as well, with Frederick Bullott still remaining on the right hand side. So start of the game, the team talk's looking fresh. Let's see what we can do then. Is this formation going to deliver us our first victory of the season, or is it going to fail dramatically and show us that we're really going to be in for a very long, very tough and ultimately heartbreaking season as the media predicted. But 23 minutes in, things looking okay so far, and the ball gets cleared nice and early though, as it's become a bit of head tennis out there. Jordan Cousins picks it up, who's not white in real life. They've got that wrong a bit there, but a nice through ball in towards Bullet. Support coming. Can he find his way towards his striker? He finds Joe Silva. The shot gets blocked. Now, was that a penalty shout? Perhaps. Harriet brought down unfairly in the box, and Julian Desato, who's picked up a knock already, gets absolutely crowd killed there on the edge of the box. Solly with the ball in. That one misses the target completely, and Bullock is left to pick up the pieces. Finds his man again. Desart shot blocked now. Jordan Cousins to Laurie Wilson, who just goes over the bar. And the goal song almost ready to come out there as well. That could have been something special. And now the ex-Charlton reject, Israel McLeod, not even brought down. Just run into by Andre the Pikey Bikey. And now as he walks back to the referee, it's a free kick on the edge of the box. He's walking very slowly. In fact, I don't think he can walk much slower. That's quite disappointing. What's the referee going to give to him? Surely just a yellow card. I don't see how that's a red. What the fuck has happened there? Now, look at that. Julian Desart's protesting. That's a fair shot. We're down to 10 men against Crawley for an absolute bullshit decision. Like, if he was brought down on the edge of the box and tackled out of nowhere, then fine. But he looked like he kept the ball. There was no real contact. He just ran past him, it looked like to me. I mean, if I've seen something, then let me know in the comments. Was that a red card? Is this FM being FM? Or is this just a beta bug? I've heard there's a few weird decisions going around like this, so may not just be me. But we edit our formation, so we've still basically got the same principle, that we've still got two wingers trying to feed the ball to show Silver at the front, whereas our two centre mids have now become defensive midfielders in order to fill the void that Andre the Pikey Bikey has left in the middle of defence. So their free kick's going to come in now, and it does get blocked, and that one just goes narrowly over the bar on the rebound. 32 minutes in, not a good sign. Half time, we make a substitution. We bring on Johan Berg Gudmundsson. Yes, it's not his ideal position, but it does give a chance to rest one of our main centre mids. But the ex-Charlton reject, Israel McLeod, I really don't want him to score today. Anyone can score. Let their goalkeeper score. Let's score an own goal. Just don't let Israel McLeod score. Be embarrassing enough losing to Crawley, let alone losing to Crawley and an ex-Charlton reject scoring against you. Cousins from long range, and that one just gets stopped easily on the early stages of half-time. 56 minute in, and we do decide that at the end of the day, we're down to 10 men. We need the biggest advantage possible, and we bring on the big man himself, Igor Vetakele, just to try and blow the winds of change around the valley, and a long-distance shot goes long distance past the goal. Very weird, big home crowd there actually. We're only playing Crawley, but the fans obviously hopeful. Find Kalahari at edge of the box. Harriet scores! Bring in the goal music! At the time that goal went in, I breathed the biggest sigh of relief imaginable. I really did not want to start this series with a 3-1 loss to Brentford, going out of the Capital One Cup to Crawley with a red card. I wanted a little bit of consistency at least, or to show you that I can actually win a Football Manager game. So we find Vetakele. Bullock's completely open on the edge of the box. He's just there doing a scrabble. There's no one blocking him whatsoever. But Vetakele loses the ball in the 90th minute. Right now, it's not my main concern. As look at that, McLeod gets to it. Gets absolutely spin kicked there by Johnny Jackson. Bit of old rivalry, new and old teammates of course, as Solly fires Bullock again, and the shot gets blocked there. That could have been 2-0 and the nail in the coffin, but it wasn't to be. But 93 minutes in, Laurie Wilson throws the ball into the pitch, and the final whistle goes. So luckily, and it is luckily, it's not a convincing win by any stretch of the imagination, we're through to the second round of the Capital One Cup, which is our fan expectation. They said they wanted us to hit second round, we've done that. And yes, there was a red card. Yes, it didn't exactly all go to plan. And we could have really had a stronger starting 11. But injuries have plagued us. And really the last thing we want to do is have a terrible starting 11 playing a team where we could quite easily have an upset against us. So thanks for tuning in, guys. As ever, if you do like the series, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. There'll be a new Football Manager video every day of the week. So cheers for all the support, and I'll see you tomorrow.